Hey guys, it's Zara, and I am here with my Read-O-Rama and Cramathon TBR. So I'm going to combine these because they take place through the exact same week. One finishes earlier than the other. I'll have all the info down below because I can't remember most of it, and yeah. So I'm going to start off with Read-O-Rama because I'm just going to use both piles of books, or both my TBRs, for like each readathon, so I can just say that I'm reading more books than I am, even though both these piles are huge, and this is going to be one of the busiest weeks for me because I have only a week and a half left of school, and possibly either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, we don't know yet, it's going to be Eid, so yeah. But let's just get into my TBR. Alrighty, so the first challenge is read 7 books, and through all of these, definitely going to happen. But the next one is to read a book with the word Rama in the title or in the author's name. So I'm going with Let the Children March by... why did the library have to cover up the author's name? I forget what the author's name is. Monica Clark Robinson, and Rama is R-A-M, and then there's an A somewhere in her name. So this one works, and it's a children's picture book, and I don't know what it's about. And except for looking at the title, I can assume that it's going to be children trying to march for something that they want to happen. So, yeah. The next one is read an underrated book, and I'm using this because even I have never heard of this, so I was like, you know what, why not? And Altered History of Willow Sparks by Tara O'Connor. Don't know a single thing about this book, have not heard a single person talk about this book, so I'm like, you know what, yeah. The next book is Read a Book with Mental Health Rep, and I'm going with Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I've had this book for so long, and every time I put it on a TBR, I never read it. So honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if I don't read it this time either. But I'm just going to use it because I couldn't think of another book. And I believe the main character in this book has anxiety. I myself do have anxiety, even though I have social anxiety more. But I have a feeling I have anxiety. I have anxiety. So yeah, I'm going to read this. Next is to read a book with flowers on the cover. And clearly this book has a lot of flowers on the cover, and it is Tyler Johnson Was Here by Jake Coles. I've heard a lot about this. It sounds really interesting. It has to do with police brutality and stuff like that, and I really want to read this. So the last challenge is to read a book by an author from your state or your country. So if you don't know, I am Canadian. I am from Canada, and this is actually tough because honestly, pretty much all the books I own are by American or British authors. But then I realized Kelly Armstrong is Canadian, and I believe she's also from the same city I'm in. But anyways. So this is a bind-up of all the 3 books in the Darkest Powers trilogy. Why can I not talk today? But anyway, so that is The Summoning, The Awakening, and The Reckoning, all by Kelly Armstrong. Now, I remember reading... I honestly think I've only ever read The Summoning, and I loved that book. I thought it was so interesting. I just never got around to reading again. And another thing about this book is she gets her period, like right in the beginning of the book, she gets her period, and then that's when stuff starts happening, which is like... yes, because we pretty much never see a main character have her period in a book. So I was like, you know what? Yes. So I think I'm just going to read the first one because this is fucking huge. But yeah, I think I'm just going to read the first one, but if I can somehow read all 3, then good. And then I'll go on to the other. I think there's like a spin-off trilogy or something like that. I don't know. There might be, there might not be, but either way, I'm going to read this. Now we're on to my Cramathon TBR, and this one I had kind of troubles with because of some of the challenges, but you know what? I tried finding stuff, but I think I am going to mix most of my Read-O-Rama books with this, especially because a lot of books in this pile are huge, and again, this is a fucking busy week, and I usually do not read that much in a week, but we'll see. So the first one is to read a book that you predict is going to be 5 stars. Grandfather and the Moon by Stephanie Lapointe and Rouge. Again, I never know if I say that right. I don't know a single thing about this book, but flipping through it, it looks really interesting. And on the back it says, a young girl remembers her grandfather in this moving graphic novel. That just sounds like something that I would love, and that will break my heart, but I cannot wait to read this. And I have to return it to my school library. Actually, it was due last week, but you know what? Whatever. The next one is to read a book out of your comfort zone. To be quite honest, I don't really care about what a book's, like the genre of a book. Usually maybe like erotica and smut. It's something I don't really read, but I don't mind reading it. I just don't read it that often. But I don't really have anything. Actually, that's a lie. I have books in the 50 Shades of Grey series, but not this week, bitch. So I was like, you know what? I'm already reading this. So why not choose this? Even though it's not really out of my comfort zone, I just wanted a book for this. So I guess I'm not really doing this challenge, but anyways, the book that I'm using is And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Bachman. I'm already 28 pages into this, and it's actually a really tiny book. It's only, how long is this book? It's only 76 pages, so yeah, it's really short. And honestly, the relationship between the grandfather and his grandson seems really sweet. It's just, I don't know what's happening. Like, it's told in a really weird way that's like, I don't know if like it's going back to like flashbacks or talking about like the grandfather's life and stuff, but from the way that the grandfather's acting, it seems like he has is it called dementia? Like, he just can't remember much, and it's like he's dying as well. So it definitely seems like a very sad book. It's just the way that the author is telling the story is really confusing me, and I'm so confused at a lot of what's happening. But from what is happening, like what I can like get at, it seems really sweet and really cute. So yeah, and it's really tiny. The next one is to read a book that's been on your TBR for a long time. Honestly, any of these books could work, but I'm gonna double up and use Fangirl for this because I've had this for such a long ass time and I haven't read it. But I bet I won't read it anyways, but I'm going with this. The next one is to read an LGBTQ plus book, and I believe it has to be Own Voices, or it should be Own Voices, and I chose The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. I looked up, and this was on a list of Own Voices LGBT plus Q plus. I always say that wrong, but it was in that category, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to use this, and I've heard a lot about it, and I believe the main character is lesbian, and so I assume the author is as well. So yeah, I just want to read this. To be quite honest, the next book, not this one, but another one that I'm using could also work for this, but the next one is to read something that is not a standard novel, so like graphic novel, audiobook, stuff like that. So I'm going with Positively Izzy by Terry Libson. I completely butchered that name. I am sorry. It's a graphic novel. Don't know what it's really about, but I read Invisible Emmy couple months ago, I think, and I thought it was okay, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this as well. So yeah. And the last one is to read a book with your favorite color on the cover, and again, this book could also work for a not standard because of the way it's told, and that's Gemina by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. And if you have not heard of the Illuminae Files, this series is pretty much told in like files and pictures and stuff like that, and like emails, so not really your standard book. So this could also work, and has blue on the cover. I love the color blue. It's my favorite color. Any color of blue, I don't care what it is. If it's blue, I like. So I'm going with this. So I hope you guys like this video, and I am vlogging this week. I have already vlogged. I completely forgot to say that in the beginning, but I am vlogging, so yes. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time. Bye bye.